It was a desperate, storm-battered quest that pushed him to the edge of survival, and he barely made it out alive. What happened when Columbus set sail one last time in 1502, chasing a dream that was slipping away? Did he find the passage to Asia he'd been hunting for years? Stick around, because this story of shipwrecks, starvation, and a last shot at glory is crazier than you imagine. It's May 1502, and Christopher Columbus, now 50 and battered by 3 voyages, is gearing up for one final trip. After being arrested and humiliated, he's convinced Spain to give him one more chance to prove he's still their guy. This video is all about how Columbus's 4th voyage played out, the new lands he saw, the disasters he faced, and the end of his exploring days. We're embarking on a journey that was his last-ditch effort to rewrite his legacy. Columbus is on thin ice with Spain. His 3rd voyage ended with him in chains, his colony a mess, and rivals like Portugal are closing in. He's got to find a western route to Asia, bring back something big, and avoid the chaos of his past trips. With a small fleet, a tired body, and a crew that's not all in, can he pull it off? Or will this voyage be his breaking point? Let's break it down. After his 3rd voyage, Columbus was arrested in 1500 for mismanaging Hispaniola's colony. He faced King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella in chains, barely saving his career with a tearful plea. They gave him a 4th voyage, but with strict rules. No stopping at Hispaniola, no governing, just exploration. He gets 4 ships, small caravels, not the big fleets of before, and about 140 men, including his brother Bartholomew and his 13-year-old son, Ferdinand. His mission? Find a strait through the New World to reach Asia's riches: gold, spices, silk. Columbus sets sail from Cadiz, Spain, on May 11th, 1502. He's not the confident Admiral of 1492. His health's shot, arthritis, maybe gout, and his reputation's shaky. The ships, Capitana, Gallega, Vizcaina, and Santiago, are sturdy but small, packed with food, trade goods like beads and bells, and navigation tools like compasses and astrolabes. His crew's a mix: loyal sailors, some nobles, and his family. But no convicts this time. Columbus is focused, writing in his journal that he's after a passage to Asia, still convinced he's close. The trip starts strong. They hit the Canary Islands for supplies, then catch trade winds across the Atlantic. On June 15th, 1502, they reached Martinique, an island south of his earlier discoveries. Columbus wants to keep exploring west, looking for a strait to Asia. He sails along the Caribbean, spotting islands like Dominica and Guadeloupe, but his eyes are on the mainland. By late June, he's off the coast of Central America, modern-day Honduras, and things start to feel different. The land's vast, with dense jungles and mountains, not like the small islands he knows. Columbus explores the coast, naming it Veragua. He meets local people, likely Maya or other groups, who paddle out in canoes, wearing cotton tunics and gold jewelry. They trade for beads and mirrors, but they're not as open as the Taíno. Some seem wary, and Columbus hears stories of fierce tribes inland. He's excited about the gold, small nuggets and plates, but it's not the piles he needs. He's sure this is Asia's edge, maybe near Malaysia, and he's hunting for a narrow passage to sail through to the Indian Ocean. The weather turns brutal. In August 1502, they hit storms off Honduras, raging winds, rain, and lightning that Columbus calls the worst he's ever seen. The ships take a beating, leaking and creaking. The crew's soaked, food spoiling, and morale's dropping. Columbus, sick and stuck in his cabin, keeps navigating by stars and gut. He writes about the tempests testing his faith, believing God guiding him. His son Ferdinand, only 13, is keeping a journal too, noting how scary it is. By October, Columbus reached modern-day Panama and Costa Rica. He names the area Costa Rica, Rich Coast, because of the gold he sees. Locals trade gold discs and eagle-shaped pendants, and Columbus thinks he's found a gold-rich land. He explores rivers, hoping they lead to a strait. One local chief, Quibian, trades with him, but warns him to stay out of the interior. Columbus's men push anyway, sparking small fights. The locals aren't pushovers. They've got spears and bows, and they know the land. The big trouble comes in early 1503. Columbus attempts to establish a small outpost in Veragua to mine gold. He leaves a few men at a river called Belin, but Chief Quibian and his warriors attack, killing some Spaniards. Columbus abandons the plan, losing the Gallega to worms eating its hull. His ships are falling apart, leaking, rotting, and barely seaworthy. The crew's hungry, eating wormy biscuits, and Columbus's health is worse, with fevers keeping him bedridden. Columbus tries to sail back to Hispaniola for help, but his ships are too damaged. He beaches them on Jamaica's north coast, near modern-day St. Anne's Bay, in June 1503. The crew's stranded, 2 ships wrecked, no way to leave. They're stuck in a place Columbus calls Santa Gloria, living in makeshift huts from the shipwrecks. The local Taino bring food at first, fish, cassava, but they're not thrilled about feeding 100 hungry Spaniards for free. Columbus faces a new crisis, his crew's splitting. Some, led by a guy named Francisco Porras, turn mutinous, blaming Columbus for stranding them. In January 1504, Porras and his men steal Taino canoes and try to sail to Hispaniola, but storms drive them back. Columbus keeps the rest in line, but food's running low, and the Taino are getting fed up. Columbus pulls a wild trick. He uses an almanac to predict a lunar eclipse on February 29, 1504, scaring the Taino into thinking he controls the sky. They keep bringing food, but tensions are high. Meanwhile, Columbus sends a loyal man, Diego Mendez, in a canoe to Hispaniola for help. It's a crazy 100-mile trip across open water. Mendez makes it, but the new governor, Nicolas de Ovando, isn't eager to rescue Columbus. He's happy to let his rival rot. Months drag on, with Columbus stuck on Jamaica, sick and surrounded by a restless crew and wary Taino. His son Ferdinand writes about the misery, bugs, heat, and hunger. The climax hits in June 1504 when a rescue ship from Hispaniola finally arrives. Mendez convinced Ovando to send help, and Columbus's crew is saved after a year stranded. They sail to Santo Domingo, but Ovando barely lets Columbus ashore. He's still bitter about past conflicts. Columbus, weak and broken, sails back to Spain in September 1504, landing in Sanlúcar on November 7th. He's got no gold, no new passage, just stories of new lands and a battered crew. So, how did Columbus's final voyage play out? It was a grueling quest for a passage that didn't exist, marked by storms, shipwrecks, and a year stranded on Jamaica. He found Central America, huge for history, but couldn't deliver the riches or the route Spain wanted. His health, crew, and dreams took a beating. The big question is, how did his final years shape his legacy? That's what's coming next. Columbus's 4th voyage was his last shot at glory, but it showed his grit in the face of failure. He pushed through storms and mutiny, only to come home empty-handed. Want to know how his story ended and what it all meant? Check out the following video. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video with others.